Hey everyone. Let's see. Are we live? I think we are. So, little introduction on myself. I am James. I am the client success manager at PushPress. So I might have talked to a few of you guys in the past. So this is our first webinar, and we're launching it with a series of topics. And what we'll talk about today is onboarding. But before we do that, I see a bunch of people just logging in now. So if you can, hit the chat, let us know, where you're from, what kind of business you guys run. And as we go through this webinar, if you have any questions or you have any insight into, some things that are working best for you guys at your facilities in terms of onboarding, throw them in the chat. One of the things that we really thrive on is the community that we have and how successful you guys are. And we want to be able to leverage that for the rest of the PushPress community. So yeah, Tommy, thanks for doing that. So keep shouting out, guys, and we'll get this going. So give me a second here to share my screen. All right. And so as we go through this, what we'll do for the first maybe about 15, 20 minutes is we'll go through the presentation and talk about onboarding processes in PushPress and best practices. And then we'll save the last 10 minutes or so to go over any questions you guys might have. So again, throughout the presentation, feel free to just throw some questions in the chat. Barry, who you guys talk to a lot probably, he'll be moderating the chat and fill in some questions. So whatever time we have left at the end, we'll go and answer as best we can. All right. So let's dive in. So today we will be talking about onboarding and really how to simplify the process. What we want to be able to do is leverage as much automation as possible through the PushPress and different integrations to allow your staff to kind of not have to deal with some of the day-to-day stuff and really focus on being able to deliver exceptional service, right? So before we kind of dive into that, give me 1 second here. Move this around. Let's start this presentation. All right, so we've gone over what we're talking about today. But first, let's kind of just define what we're after, right? And so onboarding, for the purpose of what we'll go through, we'll define it as the action and process of integrating a member into your business. So everything from the initial interaction to what it takes for them to become part of your community. So what we're looking for is we want the member to be able to easily sign up. We want them to be able to check into their first session, whether it's going to be a free trial, a one-on-one consult, maybe you offer a free class, a free week. All those are pretty common methods of onboarding new members. And then lastly, we want to make sure that they feel welcome to the community. So there's a bunch of different ways that we can do this. But what goes on to an effective onboarding sequence. So really what we want to do is simplify the process from the member's perspective, right? At this point, they're on your website or they've seen an ad and they want to know more information, right? So what we want to be able to do is really guide that series of communications. And so we want to provide a clear call to action. So, if we're looking at your website, it's not cluttered with a ton of information about programming, about your coaches. Really, we want the message to be about them and what the next step is. So still following along those lines, again, just make sure that once there is a call to action, that we have a clear set of steps for them to follow. So they don't have to guess at what do they do next. Once they sign up, are they sent an email letting them know that someone's going to contact them? Do you need to come by the gym? Are they waiting for a phone call? And then lastly, again, just from the ability to service your leads better, you want to automate as much of the normal tasks as much as possible. And then really reserve your staff, whether you have a lead manager or coaches or yourself, if you're running the leads, to be able to quickly follow up with that lead. So let's kind of talk about how we can kind of screw this up a little bit or why we might not be as effective in converting leads. So really it's kind of the opposite of what we just showed you guys. So there's no direct call to action. It's confusing for the client. Give me 1 second here. Where are we at? Okay, we're still here. Good. Sorry, we're just testing things out today. Okay. Let me back this up a bit. Right, so we'll talk about this onboarding fails. And again, really it's just if you're not able to shape the message, right? And allowing the member to kind of have to figure it out on themselves. So what we'll talk about first is how to, or kind of show you some examples of what goes into kind of an effective lead capture page, right? So we'll take a look at a couple of websites here. I'll show you guys my website for Lincoln Park CrossFit, as well as, let's see, where are we at? Sorry, bear with me, guys. Okay, can we see this? Where's the chat? All right, can you guys all see Kansas City Athletic Club? Let me know. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys. All right, so here we're looking at one of our Push Press staff members, Nick. He has a gym in Kansas City. And a couple of things you'll notice is there's just really very clear call to actions, right? In big red button, you have a free consult button here. You have one down here. As you scroll down, again, it's just kind of hitting you over and over that this is what you should do. If we go to my gym here, Lincoln Park CrossFit, not as sexy as Nick's, but still clear call to actions, right? You hit the join now button. Obviously, we'll explain a little bit more, but still the thing that grabs your eye is this free intro class. And then you click sign up, right? So that's the first step, is really kind of evaluating your website to make sure that the lead knows where to go, that they don't have to jump through hoops to figure out how to contact you guys. So now after that, the next step is, once they get to the sign up link, now what happens, right? So we have these landing pages. So we'll talk about really how to kind of optimize this and use a few tools to better guide the leads experience. So we'll dive into our test system here, Flex and Tone, okay? And we're gonna create a plan. Actually, we already have a plan created. So we'll take our one free class here. And there's only a few things that we need to edit. So if we scroll down, the two things that we want to be able to pay attention to are these two controls down here for trial membership and redirect URL, right? So trial membership, again, that just kickstarts a series of automations. One, to allow your staff members to know that as soon as someone signs up, they receive an email that so-and-so has signed up and it's a good time to follow up. And this redirect URL, what we're doing is just shaping their experience. So once they sign up on this lead capture page here, what do we want them to do next? Okay, so let's go back to their dashboard and let's run through the process, okay? And what I did here was I grabbed our scheduling link because what we want to design in this sequence is as soon as they sign up for a landing page for a free class, we want them to then register for their first class, okay? So what we'll do first is we're going to grab this URL, this redirect URL. And what this is just a scheduling link. So Barry, can you go ahead and throw this help doc link in the chat so everyone can know how to find this link for their specific gym? So this will be kind of what you guys would see in your facility or for your gym. You'd go to yourgym.members.pushpress.com and would go to the classes page. Okay, and so all we need to do is grab this URL across the top and paste it in this redirect URL. And then we'd hit save. Okay, so now let's take the experience from the leads standpoint. So we'll take the landing page. So we're assuming that we have a clear call to action now they're on this landing page where they can sign up to attend this free class. So let's fill this out. All right, a few more things here. And good, so now we've signed up. So now we should be redirected to our scheduling page. So immediately after they signed up, now, again, we're just guiding their experience. So the very next step is we want them to sign up for a session. Let's see. Let's just go back into this one. Give that back up and then I'll reserve it again. And that's it. And so what's happening in the background here too, is if you go back and check your emails, let's see, let's refresh this. Good. So you as an admin or anyone who you've designated as an admin would receive this email letting know that a new lead came in the system. So in real time, a coach or you can go through and give this person a call because you have the phone number right from the email. You can shoot them an email as well, just another welcome email. And then from the member's perspective, they get this email here, right? So they get an email that allows them to fill out their profile information. So again, what we're trying to do is we got them booked into class, and then part of the integration process is we want them to be able to fill out the rest of their information, birth date, emergency contact, all that good stuff. And so once we're done there, that kind of completes the process. I mean, that's where then your staff members can kind of step in and they provide that personal touch. So again, the overall idea is we want to be able to leverage some automations to allow your staff members to pay attention to what they need to and not have to worry about data entry, initial lead follow-up, those kinds of things. So that kind of covers our use case for a free class or free trial. But now let's say, let's go back to our presentation here, that you have a little more complex operation, right? Let's run through this. And you offer free consults, or you want to be able to allow a lead to schedule with a particular member or a particular coach, or be able to kind of select why they're coming to the gym. So you guys have an idea of what to expect from this particular client, right? So it still follows kind of the same idea. But with this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna introduce Acuity. So in addition to push press, one of the things that we've really thrived on is being able to integrate with some of the best other solutions out there. So Acuity is a really popular and very easy to use scheduling system. And I'll show you guys how to use that. And obviously what we're gonna do here is we're gonna be able to utilize lead type and customize that. And I'll show you guys what that actually means. So let's back this out. All right. Okay, so we're gonna go back to our, oops. Sorry, bear with me one more time. My mouse isn't working so well. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so now let me refresh this. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my lead capture page for this, okay? And so here, what we're gonna enable is really the redirect URLs. So in this field for redirect URLs, we can add multiple redirect URLs. So, you know, let's say someone visits your contact us page and they want to come in for a specific reason, right? So what we can do is figure out what that reason is and point them to a direction. So in this case, we'll define 4 different reasons why someone would want to come in and reach out to you guys. So in this case, we have, where's my mouse? They want to come in and talk to a coach. they want to tour a facility, they want to get some nutrition help, or they just want to sign up. Okay. So what we'll do is we're going to go to Acuity here. Let's see. Okay. So Acuity. All right. And what we're going to do is create different appointment types. So everyone can see this. We have a free consult, nutrition consult, gym tour, first time tour. And so with each of these, what we're going to do is grab these scheduling links. Okay. We're going to grab this link here. And we're going to post it or paste it into our lead capture page here. And so the other kind of little hack to make the user experience a little bit easier is we're going to pass some parameters from our lead capture page into Acuity. So effectively, what we want them to do is sign up on a landing page, and then all their information gets pulled right into Acuity. So they don't have to input their information in there twice. Okay. So we have help docs on how to kind of structure this URL, but I'll show you what it looks like. So I've saved this in my little cheat sheet here, but you can see this appointment link right here. And we're passing all the different parameters, first name, last name, email, phone number, in the link. All right. So let's go back to our lead capture page settings. So let's kind of fast forward. We specified each of the redirect URLs based on what reason they want to come in for, right? We took every one of these appointment types. Each one of these has a separate scheduling link, right? And so now let's go ahead and go to our lead page. So view landing page. Let me close this out. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'll save this and view page. Okay, so this would be a your lead capture page. So this would be something that you would use in place of that initial sign up page, for a free trial, free class. So here you're able to kind of get a little bit more information, and again, kind of be more specific with what direction you want them to go down, right? So again, we'll still take some info. Test 2, set our birth date here. James, test 76, push press. Okay, so this is what's key here. Now we want to figure out, this is where the member can dictate what it is they're coming in for. So let's say I just want help with my nutrition. Okay, so I'm going to hit this. From the member's perspective, the lead's perspective, they don't know what's happening right now, right? They're just putting that information in there. Obviously, we can get a reference here for your referrals. And then we'll hit submit. And because we embedded that redirect link for nutrition, now I'm on my scheduling page for nutrition consult. I can go ahead and select a time, and notice it already pulled in my information automatically. Let me modify this a bit. There we go. And that's it. And so now if we go back to our email, again, you get the same series of emails as before. So get confirmation. And then the other thing that you'll see is an appointment confirmation. So now you and the lead will receive this confirmation so you guys know when this person is expected to come in, right? So again, we can schedule them in. We know exactly what they're coming in for and when. So if we go back here, we'll have all those guys in our leads list. Again, just wrapped up nice and tight, right? This is where you can handle the communication back and forth between you and that lead. And that's kind of it. There's a lot more that goes into what we can do next in terms of entering people into campaigns and whatnot. So we have a lot of good partners. UpLaunch is a very powerful and popular solution for this. MailChimp, things like that, where once they are in the system, then again, we can further kind of guide communications with some automations. But in terms of just the initial lead management and onboarding, Again, what we want to do is really simplify the sign-up process, make it easy for them to follow through a series of steps to get them scheduled or get them reserved for a class, and then allow your staff to be able to follow up. So let's move back into here. Okay. So where did we leave off here? All right. So we've gone through all of this here. Okay. So kind of cut it a little bit short today, but ultimately what we're looking for to kind of be able to leverage this is be familiar with landing pages. That's what's going to be the tool to be able to capture as much client and lead data. And again, kickstart a bunch of automations that your staff doesn't have to worry about. This redirect URL, I think, is a very underutilized tool that people don't yet understand. But this is how, again, you can better guide what the next step is. And then you'll be able to customize those with the passing of user parameters. So again, you can prevent the client from having to input their information in there twice. And then lastly, it's basically freeing up your staff, again, to focus on the human component of following up and not having to worry about, did they get their initial email, whatnot. So that kind of wraps up the basics of what we wanted to talk about today. But I want to kind of open it up to see, what kind of questions you guys have. Or, if there's anything that you guys wanted to share in terms of what works best for you that maybe we didn't cover. So let's hear it. Let's see. Give me 1 second so I can get to the chat. All right, let me take a look at the questions here, guys. Okay, so can this be done without Acuity? Absolutely. So Acuity was just one of the easier solutions to use, but ultimately just kind of understanding the relationship that PushPress can push out a ton of information. And just with a little bit of understanding of the redirect URLs and being able to pass user data through the parameters, we can do the same thing, right? So really the redirect URL, use it any way you want to. There's a lot of other solutions in terms of being able to schedule clients. But yeah, personally, we use, my gym uses Acuity, and it seems to be just a very cleaner solution. So that's a good question. Let's see. So from Beth, just to clarify, this is done with Acuity and PushPress, not through Appointments tab in PushPress. That's correct. So for the time being, PushPress, we don't have the ability for clients to self-schedule their appointments just yet. That's something that we're working on. But for now, if the initial consult is something that you wanted the client to be able to schedule immediately, then Acuity would be the good solution for the time being. Let's see, so Laura asked, how did you get to the landing page from programming the setup? I'm not sure what that means. I think what you're referring to is, if you go back to our dashboard, if you go to plans, every plan by default will have a landing page option. So if you go to view plan info, you'll see this view page for this link for our landing page. Again, this is what you would embed in your website, wrap up as a big, very prominent button on your website. Again, looking at Nick's website for Kansas City Athletic Club, he has it in 4 different locations throughout the page. So no matter where I'm scrolling, I can always see there's a sign up button for a free class or consult. So good question there. Let's see.
Another one, James, that just came in is with the different timeframes for appointments from Danny. Danny, with Acuity, you can specify exactly what time frame you want your appointment to be. So if it's a 15-minute facility tour or a 30-minute consultation, you set all of those in Acuity.
Yep. So that's the beauty of Acuity and its power is you're able to define how long each appointment or consult would be, what the coach's availability is. So that's one of the beauty, one of the really powerful things about being able to integrate with the solutions that you guys want to versus us just kind of giving it to you, is that you can find those solutions and then you can just plug into them, right? So in this case, Acuity does a lot of good things. So, they're one of the best and one of the most well-used scheduling softwares. So that's the one that we kind of use by default. But again, yeah, you can use any solution. And then from within there, depending on how powerful that solution is, you're able to kind of limit or better guide, what the lead's experience is.
And then for some of you asking about if this it is recorded. Once it's done, we'll get it put out there and linked in the Facebook group, so you can go back and watch it again if you need to.
Yeah, so we'll do that. And then with the links that Barry shared as well, for finding the redirect URLs, where to find your member scheduling page, all those things, we'll have all those resources wrapped up. I'll talk to Dan about being able to get a little bit of a blog or something like that up for you guys, so we can wrap it all up into one resource for you guys to be able to check out. Let's see. Okay, so I think we ran through all the questions.
Just got one more that came in, James. Do you need to have a website for a landing page, or can you use PushPress as landing page or Facebook?
Good question. You can absolutely use Facebook as a landing page. You don't need a website because of the landing pages generated through PushPress are just links. So anywhere you can post a link, you'd be able to get someone signed up as a lead. Now, would you be more effective in terms of converting leads if you have a website? Probably, because again, you'll have more context to be able to deliver your message to better guide the members' experience. But if you don't have a website and you rely on Facebook, that's perfectly fine too. Just post those links and just make sure, again, you have a very clear call to action. Even if it's buried in a Facebook post, make it simple. Offer, if you're running ads, you can absolutely do that. Run an ad and then link the ad to one of your landing pages. So yeah, not limited to needing a website, but it definitely helps a lot. All right, guys. So I think that's it for today. So we'll go and wrap this up. We're coming up to the end of our half hour here. So we hope this was super helpful for you guys. And we're excited to be able to deliver this. What we're planning on doing is being able to release a webinar every week, kind of covering different topics or different best practices. And eventually what we want to do is kind of open this up to other industry professionals, whether it's marketing or engineering, even just coaching. If we have some of you guys who are just freaking rock stars in your area of expertise, we'd love to hear from you guys and share with the rest of the community. So yeah, be on the lookout for the next one. What we want to do is be able to do this weekly. So thanks for bearing with us on day one. There are some kind of technical limitations for today, but we'll bounce back next week and have something a little more polished for you guys. But really appreciate you guys registering for our webinar today and logging in. And let's continue it for next week, guys. All right. So have a good week.